If you didn't know, I'm a huge fan of anything DPR related.
So excited I could barely sleep.
And Hong Dabin just released his latest documentary about the tour that went down last year, and where he, as DPR Live and with DPR Ian, toured around the world, which was pretty much sold out straight away. It was super hard to get tickets. I did get tickets. I got tickets 3 times, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go," obviously, which is insane because I like usually don't really go to tours or concerts much. Not as much as I want to, but if you get the tickets, if they were hard to come by, you just gotta go. And so I had the best experience, and I met amazing people, and I just loved the entire community they created, and it all felt so lovely, and everything was so cool, and the way you saw stuff on social media made you think that it's like amazing, and everybody's just the biggest family and stuff, which they are. But then shit went down with the manager, and I don't know if any of you know about DPR and DPRM, but yeah, so Devin split for a little bit, like on a hiatus from the company, made his own company, and then released a statement that he's going to sue the former manager, who was also let go before the tour wrapped up. And they were super quiet and super hush hush about it. And that already felt off, obviously. And I was like, what's going on with him? Like, did he do something? Because, oh, anyway, so they just released the documentary. And I already saw a lot of some things on TikTok. So I stopped TikTok and I just went on YouTube, and I decided to just film this live reaction and listen to it. And I listened to parts of the latest album, Giggles, as well. I haven't finished it. I was interrupted all the time, so I need to need some quiet after this and then do that. But there's a lot of working and reworking and like ruminating about all that went down. So basically, the story is that DPR RAM withheld a lot of the money that they made through the tour. It went to his own pockets. Then that obviously resulted in them kicking him to the curb, and he was like dropped immediately, pretty quickly, but without any specific announcement on why. It was all very hush hush. But then just Devin leaving really quickly felt really off and weird because they were super close. Yeah, and so stuff comes out. So now I'm excited. Like, without further ado, I'm just gonna start. It's a 20-minute. It's a 20-minute documentary. And I'm just gonna probably edit all of that into a YouTube video and just shorten it, because like, watch the video on their channel, like on Hong Davin's channel. Like, don't watch it through mine. Like, give them the clicks. Give them the clicks. Anyway, let's start. CTYL is this new company coming to you live. One of his albums. All right. Oh no. Is that his lifeline? Fix it. Sorry, I have to stop. Like, one thing I always noticed about Hong Dabin's music is that he really likes to work through his past, reflect on it, and it has not really had that positive vibes. Like, he was bullied at school for being different because he grew up in Guam, but he's like Korean ancestry, so he moved to Seoul, and like, like always the in between and all of like that. So that is really, really cool, but also sad. And yeah, the name has always been like a thought process behind it. Like, he's always explored what it means, because like in the beginning, he wanted to do something with live to live, and then the thought of like, hey, why don't you make it live? It's like a play on the word, but also you're singing live, you're performing live, and you get that energy from the people and be in the moment and changing and affecting people that way. So call yourself live. And I guess through all of the ups and downs of the drama, kind of realized he wanted to go back to his roots, kind of explore who he is and how he's grown, how he's changed, and like own his own name instead of hiding like behind the alias. Okay, let's explain in his words. Am I alive? Interesting. I love the video recording vibes. That's his astronaut song. So I did the the meet and greet as well, which was no meeting and no greeting, just like a photo and then you off you go. Couldn't even really talk to them. I didn't even see them. Like I saw the back of their heads. Like that was the weirdest meet and greet. Yeah, that was Munich. So I saw them in New York, in Munich, and in Berlin. Super lucky. They had so many costume changes too.
무대에서만큼 최선을 다했어요. 지옥 같았어요.
It's so crazy, like to see the difference between how artists like perform and have this persona, and you kind of feel like they show a lot, you know, like the parasocial relationships, and then you see behind the scenes when it just so much takes out of you, so much that it's like so much sweat and tears and suffering, and especially if you put your work that's very personal out there, because like all of his work is very autobiographical. So like it's not just like generic, fun, funky music, you know, like a lot of mainstream artists do. Like there's nothing wrong with that, but it's just like so vulnerable. And then to power through like back to like I don't know what they did with that show because they had like back to back locations and gigs in different countries. I was like, even if I didn't have to do any concert performing, which I don't because I don't sing, I would have not been able to function properly because I've done that with travel. Like I did put so much on my itinerary and put myself through different cities and slept on buses and traveled countries and borders because I felt this constant need to keep up with social media because like at that time I was doing travel blogging and it was trendy and not very sustainable to collect countries, and it's usually just like stop and go. Like you just land at an airport, you count it, and then off you go, and then you suddenly have like 100 countries or whatever. I always thought that was kind of weird, and also like what did you actually get from that? Like you haven't seen anything of the country. I even get peeved at people who like visit my country, Germany, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I've been to Germany. I've seen so many things." I'm like, "Where'd you go?" Berlin. That's it. Then we always say like Berlin isn't really Germany, like not representative. It's a different thing. So yeah, so like that's how I felt, and I do like slow travel, like setting up a base for 3 months, understanding how the locals just work, like getting a vibe, getting my favorite places, having like a routine, and then going on excursions. And usually I just walk everywhere. Like this is the most sustainable way. I just like walk, I get lost, I find maybe some people, and then they drive me back, or I find a bus, or I walk back, right? And then I just take public transport. Like I try to not have so many flights. But I still felt this constant need to constantly travel and do more and perform more and like write about it and take the photos and make the videos and teach myself this and teach myself that. Like it was just so much. I constantly burned out. For what? For what? Like there's this meme that say like when you start to be self-employed or an entrepreneur, you do that so you can escape the 40-hour week, like the 9 to 5. It's just so you end up working like 24/7, basically. Yeah, true that. Anyway, so like that was a whole SD tour. So like I don't know what they did with that tour. That must have been like excruciating. Let's continue with the video. My God. And another note, like because Dabin did a tour before with his own music without his buddy DPRian, and he had a burnout then. Like it completely took a huge toll on his mental health. He said that like he have like panic attacks, like completely like it wrecked him, and now he was afraid that I will do that again with this tour. I guess I did. Let's see. Oh no, he needs medical attention. Dude, what? No. No, what? He's shaking, like literally shaking. Oh my god. His nervous system is down. Oh. Well, he's good at acting then.
겉으로 다
Yo.
행복해 보이니까.
I guess that's where the idea comes from that DPRian constantly mentions of doing smaller gigs around the world where it's like more low key, intimate settings in different places where it's not that big of a production and not that exhausting and feels more, like you actually connect with the community they created. Because like that, I feel would give them so much more back instead of taking all of this energy and life force. Like, also, I want to mention, and I don't know who here knows about human design. I got into it, and at first I was like, "Ew, don't tell me what to do," which is very much me being a manifester, which is one of the 5 types of it. I don't want to get into it too much, but it really helped me understand myself more, or basically return to what I used to know about myself. And then people talked me out of it because, you need to be square and fit into boxes in society. And people always like to tell you how to be different and more normal. And I also have ADHD. So, like, I was never normal and I always felt broken and weird, and people told me how to be more human. Anyway, so when I learned about human design, I was like, oh, don't tell me what to do. And then I read up on it, and it was so scarily accurate about how I find I work the best way. And when I deviate from that, how things just fall into shits. And it just read me like a book. I was like, that's so scary. But it helps me with all of the shadow work and self-reflection and stuff. Anyway, so my type is a manifester, and Hong Damin is also a manifester, which is the rare type. There's only like 8 to 9% of the entire population on the planet who can be ascribed to that type. And it's a very specific, very distinct, very deviant kind of way of functioning. And most of the time, it's just basically you just rest and wait for something to inspire you and make you feel like antsy, like you just have that energy. You really want to do it. You want to do something. And then the stars align, like something feels right. And it's like you're waiting to sprint, you're waiting for the shot or whatever, and then you bolt. And then it's just, I always bulldoze my way and make it happen. I stop having a proper sleep cycle. Like I can't be social. I'm just like a zombie. I call it my zombie mode. And then the stuff I get done in the shortest amount of time on sheer willpower and resilience and just creativity is insane. But then I just crash. And that's normal. But the problem is to actually allow the rest, which I never did. And so, like, that messes me up a lot when I don't listen to that. And it feels like he completely did not align with those restful periods, which is, understandable in society. But like the more and more I learn about this type, the more, yeah, I can see how we just work ourselves to the bone in the worst way, because it doesn't work like that is specifically not for manifestors. But let's continue. Oh my god. Panic attack. Hmm. Were they talking about Ram? So was that after the tour?
했던 투어여서
Just give him a hug. Come on. What are you doing? What is this? Give him a hug. So, question. So, like, they did the entire tour and they didn't really decide on all of the gigs and the schedule, which obviously completely crashed them. Like, it would anybody. Like, they even had to cancel a show in Prague. Did they say why? But like, for health reasons or mental health reasons. And people got really upset because it didn't say much about it. And I was like, that doesn't sound like them. There must be something really wrong. And then the finale in Seoul was so different. It wasn't more like how they actually wanted it to be, but they didn't, because everything was just so fast paced. Because like I remember there was this cool balloon set up with the like gigantic hand. I think in New York, like they had these big props where there was like a giant astronaut floating on stage, like a 3 meter tall thing, like gigantic. It was like floating and hopping around. And then there were like these hands who were grabbing like TPREN and like dragging him off stage. But there was also like a flat floating hand, like a gigantic glove, taking him off. But that didn't show up anymore in Germany. I was like, oh damn. Did the balloon get like popped. Like, where's the balloon? I like that part.
제가
Isn't it
사랑하는
sad? You put in
사람이
so much for your tour. You work on it for so long and you tour an entire year or half year and you don't have really good memories attached to it. No. I love the video edits that they added and the dancers.
닫혀 있었던 LED판 속에 관객들이 보이거든요. 제가 진짜 죽여버리고 싶었던
Oh,
사람이
damn.
있었고
Now he's going for Rem.
공연을 볼 걸 알고 있었고
Because he was
죽이고 싶었던
uninvited at that
인물이 어디
point.
있는지 알아요.
They already kicked him in December 22.
거기만 노려보면서 마스크를 쓰기 시작했죠. 그리고 노래가 시작했어요.
Wait, but like he still made it to the show, into the crowd? Like he still attended? Rem did? Even though everybody knew what he'd done? That's bold. So he was just like performing angrily, like that fueled him? The rage? I still don't get why they added the machine
누군가를
guns.
죽이고 싶...
Oh, you look so tired. Might also be the hair color. How often did he change his hair color during the tour? Quick question. Let me ask the question. Come on, YouTube. So DPR Ian has John following him around taking the videos. Who did it? Dabin have him follow around. Also John? Like, cause like he has just all of these solo shots. I'm just curious. Huh. I want subtitles. Come on. I don't speak Korean. I'm trying to learn. It's so hard. That's a beautiful setup. The light and the colors.
보여줄 수 있는
Okay, that is so interesting because I always thought they just held back so much of like social media content and showing up what they wanted to work on for the sake of remaining like mysterious, and, like honing their craft because they're kind of perfectionists. But it sounded more like this was a strategic decision by management to keep them, which is so ironic because they started this company to not be constrained by traditional management and practices in the K-pop industry. It was their company. And then I still had to hold back artistically. Like I listened to the Mindset app recordings that they released 2 years ago or so. And they were constantly saying how like Rem was the strategic businessy person, which is fine. But they also felt like they wanted to do creative stuff and they needed to explain that and it didn't land, which I can resonate with a lot too. But I didn't realize it was really that tense. Because, like, with creativity, and if you're like doing artsy stuff, first, you don't know when the inspiration will hit, and you can't just churn it out, especially if you're a manifester, okay? Because both DPRE and DPR Life are manifestors. And yeah, it's not something you can like have a tap running on creativity and then just like take it. That doesn't work like that. You need to like fill it up by not doing anything, but just like traveling, looking at art, going listen to music, mingling with people, just looking at plants, like whatever, just to not be about it constantly. And then will hit you left field, and then you need to have the time and space to like dive right in and be completely immersed in it so you can create the thing. And that is so intuitive and that is so hard to calculate because it's not. It's so irrational, it is so inconsistent that it would make sense if you have your own business to then make it work around your own needs and not force it into a business model of sorts. Ugh, I don't know. I have so many thoughts on that. I hope that made sense. I like the hat. What is D3? Why is it counting down? D-Day? That setup is so beautiful. I have to say it again.
저랑 이엔 형한테 붓이 쥐어준 거죠, 손에.
That's so good. Get back to creative control. What is the countdown? I'm scared. I love the edit music, the interludes. That was so good. It always looks so effortless on tour. Like they already know what they do, and it's so easy and spontaneous almost. But like it's so meticulously rehearsed. That would be something that I hate. Like I always hated that in dance practices, like to do it again and again and again and again. You know, when you perform, you want to do it well, obviously. But I'm so impatient, and if it's the same repetitive thing, my ADHD would be like, oh, kill me now. Like, can we just perform and get it over with and do a new thing? Because I used to do dance competition. Like I used to dance competitively in my teens. I was really bad. My group, we as a whole, we were really bad. I tried really hard. I don't know, but like it doesn't matter if the entire group doesn't work together. Nothing is in synchronous. We were so bad, honestly. Ooh, that screen's dirty. That's some weird architecture in the back. Why is there a beam through the wall? Performing in a dress shirt? Oh, I love the black and white contrast. Those clothes look super hot with the like lights on it. Spotlight is so hot, like literally uncomfortable. Well, that's a cool choreography. I never got an autograph.
주어진 메시지와 지금 그 말들이
Aw,
진짜 많은 힘이 됐어요.
perfect.
그래서 좀 부탁을 했죠.
Damn, I hope they had a strobe warning. Nice editing.
이제
Is that his
시작인데
dad? He featured in one of
솔직히
his
말씀드리자면
songs.
제 안에
Aw,
모든 게 바닥난 상태예요. 더 이상 뭘 짜줄 수도
aw.
없을 만큼 진짜 지쳤어요. Am I actually alive? I know I'm not alive.
He's just existing. Oh no! I thought there was like a happy end or something. Like, hoping for good things to come. Now I'm depressed. It's contagious. No! Why would you leave it so sad? And you didn't talk about any specific issue around what went down. Which is fair. It's their own business. But oh my god. This is so heartbreaking. I hope he finds happiness soon. My god. I feel depressed now. No. No. How do you put in so much effort into your work, into your art, into your concerts, and then feel empty? That shouldn't be it. Is it worth it? Wow. Well. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to leave this with. I hope things change now. That stuff is out in the open, that he made his own company, that he has his own manager, a new one he trusts, who hypes him up, who lets him do more creative stuff. And I'm sure there's more cool things to come in a way that make him happy, not just the fans. Because, like, we gobble up anything anyway, so. Yeah. Good damn. That was so sad. Okay, I'm gonna go leave and be sad now. And listen to the new album, Giggles. Listen to it, Hong Dabin, Giggles. Bye!